Now joining me in studio to discuss Ti-Ahwaga Community Players' upcoming show Gypsy, playing Mama Rose, Andrea Grigori, and playing Louise Sarah Walikis. Hello ladies, how are you doing today?
Thanks. Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, of course, of course. So tell me a little bit about the Ti-Ahwaga Community Players in Owego, right?
Yes. Well, Ti-Ahwaga has been around a long time. It's actually one of the oldest community theaters in upstate New York. They had performed in numerous locations around Owego, and now they actually have their own dedicated performing arts center in Owego, which is a lovely cabaret type space with cabaret tables and seating. And part of the appeal, I think, is being able to go see a show and have concessions brought to your table. So it's a fun experience,
yeah,
and great sight lines. Really
sure.
not a bad seat in the house.
No. All right, awesome. I love when people say that because I feel like that's so true for some venues.
Yeah.
So I wrote down, Gypsy is considered one of the greatest musicals in American theater. So tell me a little bit about Gypsy and the storyline.
Well, it's a really strong book of a musical. So a big conversation that we've had over the course of the show is that you really, don't need the music to, buy into the story. It's just such a strong story about, the fall of vaudeville, transitioning into burlesque in, the early 1920s into the 30s of America. So that is sort of the backdrop for the story. And during all of that, there's this, very engaging sort of family drama happening between Louise, which is my character. I'm the eldest daughter of two, and Mama Rose, who is our stage mother, who's trying to, get us to be successful within the vaudeville industry, even though the industry is on the decline. So you can kind of see the lengths that she goes to try and make her children stars. And that's kind of the fun part.
Yeah, interesting. Sounds like, a lot of interesting parts in there, to say the least.
Yeah.
So how big is this production? How many people have roles in the show?
It's a cast of, I want to say 16. And we have a live orchestra of 12. They're wonderful.
Very
it's always
exciting.
Such a luxury to be able to perform with a live orchestra conducted by the wonderful Chris Vanderwerker, who's just done a terrific job with this very difficult score. And I think people who are not familiar with the show will realize that they maybe know more of it than they thought they did. Songs like Everything's Coming Up Roses and Together Wherever We Go, which are very recognizable, and they may not realize that it's from that show. So it's just great score by Julie Stein, lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, one of the first projects that he took on, which almost didn't happen, but he was persuaded to be part of the project. So
thank goodness for that.
Thank goodness for that, yes.
All right, well, this sounds iconic, to say the least. And I feel like there's something so special about having the live orchestra for, like, big moments when they play and have those little in cues, to add to the storyline. So my viewers know one of my favorite questions to ask people in shows is, if you had to swap characters with someone for one show, who would you want to try to play the character of, and why?
Do you want to go first?
I feel like there's a lot of good characters in this show, it sounds like.
Well, I can say the entire time I'm on the stage, I'm watching Andrea just absolutely crush it at this role. And, anyone that comes and sees will see how hard she's been working at it. But it's really inspired me. So I guess it's kind of an answer where I'm watching her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do that like myself one day. Because the role of Rose is really just one that women really aspire to, and especially it's something that you kind of graduate into when you've been doing theater for a while. You kind of have to earn it. And I just really I'd want to be Rose.
It's the role of a lifetime. It's often referred to as the King Lear of musical theater. But if I had to choose, oh gosh, there's so many great featured moments. Maybe
the cow?
The cow. Or the dog. There is a live dog in this production, by the way, for any animal lovers out there. Maybe Tulsa. He has this, it's just a wonderfully featured role. He has a wonderful song and dance number. And it's, when he's on, he's really on, but he's got plenty of downtime. And
Princess track.
Yeah. So and he has one of the most iconic songs in the show, probably one of my favorite songs in the show.
All
It's
right,
so fun.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I love your guys' answer. I always have to ask that show, so now when you come on, you'll know that that question's coming, and then
Yeah.
everyone knows that that question's coming when I ask them.
Yeah.
So one last question is, what do you hope that people really take away from the show? Is there any, learning points or things specifically that you want the audience to kind of leave with?
So many people I've talked to have not even seen the show before, which really surprised me. Maybe I'm just in my own musical theater bubble, and that is very much true. But I really just hope that as many people come out just to familiarize themselves with the show, because it's just such a great show. It's been done so many times. There's a reason why it's been done so many times. Like, I feel like once you see it, you'll understand why it's kind of touted as the great American musical.
All right.
And it hasn't been seen in this area in nearly 10 years.
No.
So it's been overdue. I think it'll give people an opportunity to see one of Broadway's great golden age musicals, and realizing why it is considered to be such a great piece.
All right, like I said, iconic. Well, thank you ladies so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and good luck with your upcoming show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, of course,
Thank you.
of course. For those of you who might have missed those details, the Ti-Ahwaga Community Players will present the musical Gypsy from March 28th to April 13th. Directed by Zach Curtis, the production features stunning costume, lighting, and scenic designs, and will be performed Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. at Ti-Ahwaga Community Players, 42 Delphine Street in Owego. Tickets range from $28 to $33 and are available at tiahwaga.com.